No, that's not what I want. There we go. That's what I want. Welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome to episode 74 of the Angel Channel. Wow, we've been doing a bunch of these, huh? So, pretty crazy week, and a lot of interesting energy astrologically and astronomically going on that we'll talk about in a few minutes. Want to say hey to Arnie. Always glad to see you, my brother. Good to have you. Spectra, what's up? Alana, what's up, girlfriend? Good to see you. I'm pretty stoked about tonight's show. We're going to be talking about sound healing and sound therapy, and we're going to wind up tonight with a guided crystal bowl meditation. Do a little chakra breathing for our practice this evening. So it should be pretty fun. I'm pretty stoked. Just a shout out to our sponsor, Fried Okra Entertainment. Badass filmmakers, commercial directors, corporate videos. I loaded up their link at the top of the page. Please go check them out and scope them out. Send them a good word. Mr. Zin, we meet again. Inga, what's up? Andrea, how are you? I know it's probably Andrea, but you never know. I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling wonky, man. Like, not inside, everything's good, everything's like cruising the way it should be, but it's felt like there's been this really intense energy. Okay. Andrea said she answers to both. Excellent. And you're not imagining that. And what that is we are in the middle of like a bunch of solar mass ejections. Everybody's pretty familiar with solar flares and that kind of stuff. And those things happen all the time. But we happen to be lined up on like this line of sunspots across the sun as it's spinning and we're going around. And the other day, I think it was yesterday, actually, there were 3 major coronal mass ejections, which is just like massive amounts of energy, which wreaks havoc on electronics and all kinds of stuff, and it makes you feel out of sorts, out of weirdness. So if you're feeling like you're out of sorts and you don't actually know why, that's why. And there's still some more coming up, so just kind of be prepared. We did a few shows back, we did a really nice demo on doing some shielding and using filters and using your energy to kind of shield out the goo. This is a really good example of where that would come in super handy. And what you can do is, since we're bathed in it all the time, it's pretty easy to reach out with your energy and kind of get a flavor and a frequency of what the solar stuff is. And then as you're doing your shield, just use that, just be focused on that frequency as you're raising up this filter to block out that energy from you. And if you'll give it a good solid go a few times, maybe not be perfect the first time, but give it a few times, start getting used to that, you'll see a definite difference in how you're feeling. And so strongly encourage you guys should do that. Also, astronomically and astrologically, Saturn is moving into Aries and Neptune is moving into Aries as well. And man, you could go on for a long time about all of that craziness, but by and large, it really sort of says that your dreams, which is where Neptune is, they're going to be driven, and Saturn, which is the material, like materialization. Normally, Saturn's there to be the taskmaster, but combined with the other planets that are happening and that Neptune scenario, it's about driving your dreams and making your dreams come to fruition. And it's good to know what your dreams are. And for me, we talked about this a little bit last week. I've kind of felt like I've been in this cocoon thing, like everything's just sort of like my old me is just kind of outlived its like usefulness, and it needs to change and evolve. And like that's kind of required a massive effort to just let go of everything, every preconceived notion of who I am and what I am, and like, all of it, just have to let go. And I call those like your little deaths. And it kind of feels like I'm in that zone where it's just I've let go of everything. I haven't made any art in about a month and a half. I haven't done any light paintings. That's sort of spurred on by the last time I really loaded up some light paintings. I got a whole bunch of people that DM'd me asking for the AI prompts to do my picture. And I don't know. It just sort of sucked the wind out of me for a little bit. That and a bunch of other little small things that just kind of like twitched me. So like, just go inside and wait for a minute, man. Don't react. Don't just go inside and let go of everything. So I'm in the process of seeing what comes back and what rises out of that, and what me emerges. And I mentioned last week I'm starting hypnosis school, hypnosis therapy, and sound therapy school. And I'll have my accreditation then and can open into some healthcare areas, and like insurance will pay for it. So it just opens a whole lot of roads that aren't really available to me right now. So that's one area. And I'm just kind of like laying loose. What's up, Tom? What's up, Linda? I'm just kind of laying loose, trying to stay patient. And like for me, this is the craziest thing. I can't even believe these words are coming out of my mouth, because I'm the master of programs, man. Got to have a program for everything, like fix, blah, 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 blah. But like the best plan for me is not having a plan and letting the plan reveal. Not always so easy, but it's already proving to be like I'm liking what's happening, and I'm liking what's growing. So we're just going to continue on with that and see what sticks. So before we get off of that, just kind of take some time to like focus on what your dreams are. What do you want your life to be? What do you, and if you just made yourself available for your deepest wish for yourself to manifest, what would happen? Try it out. Do a little meditation. Maybe when we go on our little meditation today, we can like run that through the computer and just see what happens. So, if you notice over in the chat, there's the live stream of consciousness. That's my erstwhile friend, Michael Zen. And, he's got a really badass show called the Live Stream of Consciousness, which happens on Thursday evenings at 9:00 on YouTube. Should catch it. Really super cool. And he's got a new show on the Sacred Spiral Network called Holding Space, and talking to some really talented practitioners and psychics, and I think you might enjoy both of those. So go scope that out. Tuesday nights, Holding Space. Thursday nights, Live Stream of Consciousness. Yeah. So yeah, I've got one more little piece of goodie here. I went digging around in some old portfolios looking for some stuff this weekend. And I found this folder. So my first job at art director at Atlanta Magazine, I'm getting ready to like do my first international photo shoot. And I'm flying to London. So my mom and dad got me this like raincoat, this long black raincoat. And I love that coat. I still have that coat actually. And I wore it everywhere. And it became kind of I don't know, an iconic joke. And the best thing about working in advertising back then was I was an art director. So when we'd come up with commercials, I'd get to sit there at the drawing board and design where it would be. And like, oh man. So I designed some of the coolest. I got to see the pyramids, like Mexico, like all over the United States. I went to Europe, and got paid to go. And that was just the best. So everywhere I went, I tried to go take a, crap. Here, hold on. One of these days I'll get good at this. So everywhere I went, I had a little portrait done of me, and that was at Death Valley. This was an amazing shoot. Yeah, this is at Devil's Tower where they shot Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, and I used to shoot a lot out in LA. It was very fun. Fredericks. The glaciers in Alaska. There is nothing like that blue ice, man. This photo does not even begin to cop how intense and amazing that blue is, and the water from the runoff. Really crazy good. So it was a fun life, and really super grateful for all the fun and places I got to go. The redwoods, man, nothing like the sequoia forest standing there next to this thing. And it's just so tall. You got to lean all the way back to see it. And it's been there for thousands of years, and like, that just blows my mind away and kind of gives you this perspective of your place in the universe. You're everything and a tiny speck. Yeah. And my favorite store on Melrose, Retail Slut, of course. Anyway, just a couple of fun yums there. All right. So as always, anybody that's looking for a reading, just get yourself over in the comments section, and I'll take care of everybody that wants one and signs up. I'm feeling really hot tonight, so I think it's going to be a good evening. So there's lots and lots of different methodologies for sound healing. I'm going to kind of focus on 3 of those this evening. One of them is the super old, and this has been around for, God, probably, I don't know, thousands of years, but a lot of years, and that's Tibetan bowls. And I use this every week to open our sacred space and to cleanse our space and connect us. And these bowls are really amazing about like cracking open energy. And depending on what kind of striking you're doing with it, like these, where you make it sing and then give it the those are great for breaking connections and breaking attachments. And if somebody's really kind of gooped up and clogged and their aura is like, it's going to be hard to get in there, this is a magnificent way of kind of cracking through that, breaking that stuff up. And then when you go to do your actual cleansing and your grounding, then like, man, that stuff just falls away like you would not believe. The mythology of Tibetan bowls is that they're made of 7 different metals. Let me see if I can remember these now. Gold, silver, copper, mercury, tin, lead, and iron. Right? So the mythology is that they're made of 7 different metals, and that gives them this kind of crazy, like there's a bunch of harmonics there. There's the main note, but there's a bunch of harmonics layered over the top of that. And those are relating, each of those metals relates to a different chakra. So like the cleansing of your aura, like it's relating to all of the frequencies of your light body, which is why it works so amazingly good. And they come in all kinds of like really deep gongs. My friend Jilly's got some great bowls. I'm probably going to talk her into like dragging on the show soon. And really, really small, like high notes as well. And pretty amazing instruments and instrument of energy self-expression. Like I've got some good friends, they've been on the show before, my friends Patty and Pratah, and they do a Tibetan bowl meditation every Friday that I've been participating in for about 3 years now. And they've got about 12 or 13 bowls. Every time I look up, there's another bowl. And just the way Pratah like connects into the gestalt and the flow, the energetic flow of our circle and kind of the world at large. And that just kind of flows. Like he never has a specific song. It's just like this journey through it. And every one of them is a journey for me, filled with imagery, sensation, and energy on a really massive scale. Yeah, Michael says he has a personal connection with one of his bowls. Let's see. Yeah, the more you get to know it, the more you get to know it. These have been part of this one has been part of my life for about 25 years. And man, I've done thousands and thousands of cleansings and kept myself like in good mode. And what's really interesting, what Michael just said, like it'll tell me what it needs. I don't have a really specific, I've got some general, like, here's what needs to happen for this, like taking the bowl and like going to the third eye, going around to this side and really going into the ear, bringing it back around, and then repeating that in mirror. And it balances your whole skull. It's crazy amazing. But I'll do that kind of differently and in different numbers and like depending on where the person is at the moment. And I intuitively feel that, but I also get like impressions from the bowl itself, like it knows where it needs to go. I know that sounds crazy. All good. It is. So the Tibetan bowls, really amazing tools. I'm going to try to have Patty and Pratah on in a few weeks and see if I can talk them into doing a bowl session for you. It's become a real important part of my life every Friday, and I'd love to share that with you guys. All right, so I think that's all on the crystal bowls, or on Tibetan bowls. Next thing I want to talk about, and I don't have any of these specifically because it's not a regular part of my healing ritual, but I know it is for a whole bunch of people, and that's tuning forks, right? Let's see. I think I've got a picture of that. Yeah. So let me see if I can make that a little bigger. So they usually come in like a set of seven. And again, they relate to each of the chakras. Those are tuned um, to the solfeggio tones, Solfreggio, solfeggio tones. You see that on YouTube a lot, offering like this frequency 996, 632, and what those are supposed to do, and they do in fact have a really specific physical effect on people. So this guy's doing therapy with one of these, and those are just really pure tones. You know, I shouldn't say this because I haven't actually used it, but the thing that's always kind of kept me away from them a little bit is just a single note just kind of grates on me. Like I want more notes. The musician in me wants a song. It's like the way I play the bowls, like I've got patterns and harmonic triads and like that whole scenario. So the forks usually are pretty intense too, man. And the ways, like, how does that work? How can sound actually produce a physical effect? Well, all of the or a great number of the metaphysical systems, it's like the creation story, the world, the universe was created with numbers, letters, and sound, and that sound vibration starts particle vibration, and particle vibration is how material manifestation happens, when those particles vibrate at a certain frequency and form into patterns. If you've ever seen the cymatic stuff, right, where they'll take a piece of metal and dump some salt across it and then play a really specific note, and the salt separates into geometric shapes. And depending on the frequency you're playing, the geometric shape like corresponds to that particular frequency, and that's what's happening in your body as well, and it's causing your cells to wake up to that particular energetic command, and it heals stuff. Like I started doing the yoga sound bath thing with my friend Leah about, I don't know, 2.5 years ago now, and we do Sunday morning yoga sound bath combo, and neither one of us had done that before, so we were just kind of exploring, and I was super stoked just to be getting out and playing the balls. I mean, I make hours go away doing that, and I'm old now, man, so I've had a lot of injuries over the course of my life, like all the way back to 15. I like broke my ankle really bad, and it healed up fine. But like when it rains or gets like super low pressure, like around when the hurricanes come through and stuff, it would just kind of like ache from the inside, right? And there were 2 or 3 other broken bones I had that, like, when the weather changed, I could really tell, and they weren't particularly annoying, but they were there enough for me to notice. And oh man, this is about 10 or 12 years ago. I was doing a photo shoot for, curiously enough, Leah Black. who was one of the housewives of Miami at the time. And I was in her house doing a photo shoot, and I stepped backwards, and there was a step off of there, and I stepped wrong, and I dislocated my hip. And there was a whole crowd of people and all this like production people and studio people and like, oh man. So I disappeared around the corner into the bathroom, just kind of slammed it back in, and I made it through the rest of the shoot. And it never really like got right again. And it was easy to re-injure over the years. And it was just something that would just annoy the hell out of me. And I heard it again right before we started the yoga thing. And it was just like, I couldn't even sit. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, kind of, man, because it just hurt so bad. And we started doing the sound bath thing. And about a month into the sound bath thing, I realized my hip stopped hurting. And I'm like, wow, man. And, you know, we'll talk about this in a second when I get to the bowls. You know, one of the best things about crystal is what a great charge it holds. So I'm always pouring juice into the bowls before we go and just charging them with the intent to send out healing energy and for everybody that's out in the crowd. And I started paying attention to the rest of the stuff on my body as well. And my arm's good, my hip, like, man, I haven't had any, knock on wood, any pain in my hip in like a year and a half now. So like it really works. And yeah, it really works. And, you know, that's one of the things I'm super excited. I know a lot about sound healing. I got my first crystal bowls about 30 years ago. They've been part of my life ever since. And I've discovered a bunch of stuff myself and from friends. And it's become a pretty workable system for me. But I'm super stoked about getting to go to school and sound therapy school and really get a master's in it and take it to the next level. So anyway, if you have opportunity to get your own bowls or to participate in sound healings, go with an open mind and a receptive body, man, because it will really help a lot. Okay, so we've talked about Tibetan bowls and the tuning forks, solfeggio tones. You know, I would love to throw a challenge out to you guys. Let me see here. I'm going to put this down in the comments. Okay, so solfeggio tones. If you get a chance, go scope it out. Scope a couple of them out. See if you really dig it, if it really if it elevates you or if it annoys you. I'd love to know where you guys are at on that. That'd be really super cool. Tammy Joe, what's up? Okay, let's get rid of this. Stop screen. All right. So crystal bowls. I first ran into crystal bowls about 30 years ago, and I got attached to them through somebody who was using them to contact angels. And I'm delighted to have them with me tonight because I was deeply engrossed in those as I was first discovering the Shemhal Maforish, which is what we built the deck off of, and the angels we've been communicating with over the last year and a half. So they have really special emotional ties for me, and they are very like coming up out of the bowl itself is a really intense spiraling collimated beam, like a laser beam coming up out of there. And then coming out from the bowl is like, woo, 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 woo. So you get these crazy like combos of waves. The bowls you feel, first of all, they're made of quartz crystal, really super pure quartz crystal. And I don't know if they're still made this way, but I know the very first ones were made by this guy who he was a physicist. And he went to Tibet and was enthralled with the Tibetan bowls. So he came back with the intent to do a crystal version of Tibetan bowls. And he came up with this mode to take super finely crushed quartz, put it in a centrifuge in a mold so that it just completely evenly coated the surface of the inside of the mold, and then put this like supercharged electrode down there, boom, and then flash fused it into glass. Pretty crazy, if you ask me. And where'd he come up with that? So, and the amazing thing about using quartz is it holds a charge for a long time. You can really pour your intent into the crystal itself, and it will amplify that and send that out in really amazing ways. And you can do stuff like fill the bowl up with water and charge that water. You can put bottles in the bowl and charge that water and get it elevated as well. And the frequencies coming out of the bowls are just so pure, that's kind of why I like the combo of the Tibetan bowls and the crystal bowls, because the Tibetan bowls are so layered, there's like 5, 6, 7 harmonic layers in there, and it's just really super thick. And the crystal bowls are just, bam, a pure undulating note, and really, really wonderful, wonderful things to work with. I kind of think of them as my friends now, man. We've been through so much stuff. They've gone all over the world. Actually, the ones that made it all over the world, out to Death Valley and all over, they've kind of like become casualties of war. But I have a new family, so awesome. All right. So we're going to create some sacred space and get down into a nice meditative state. And then I'm going to do a little sound bath, chakra breathing exercise. And I just wanted to talk to you about what chakra breathing actually means. First of all, your chakras. Yeah, I know most of you know this, but we're just going to do a little primer here, a little refresher. You have 7 main chakras that people deal with. You have there's 13, but we're only going to deal with the first 7. And those start down at your groin. Actually it's going up on the inside, like above your spine, all the way up through your skull, right? And where your first chakra is, it's your root chakra. That's your connection and your grounding to earth and the physical world. And that's also where your instinctual functions lay. Things like your heart beating and breathing, and just like your survival stuff, your animal survival stuff that you're not even really thinking about, but needs to get taken care of. So that's the first layer. And then that layer goes up to your second chakra, which is located right between your groin and your navel. And that's where your connection to the actual world is, and your feelings, your desires, your pleasures, your sexual drive, anything that is of your material experience here is pretty much contained there. Then your next chakra is we use this one all the time. It's your solar plexus. It's just above your navel, right in your center. And that's your power source. That's the place where it's the main power hub. As a matter of fact, like your chakras are really like, if you put this in terms of like our electrical grid system, your light body is where everything starts, and the energy takes form there, congeals there, comes down through, is into your into the hardware now of your physical body. And your chakra systems are the way that it takes that energy in and processes it and sends it out to the parts of your body that need that. It's just like having a main power plant. Like, okay, here's the main power plant, and then from there it goes to a main station, and then from the main station it goes out to substations and individual transformers, and your whole body is filled with thousands of chakras, and those are just energy conduits for dealing with different flows and different kinds of energy. And each of our chakras, like your grounding and connection and your instinctual stuff, your world, your pleasure, your power source, and where your energy, your centered energy emanates from. And then we go up to your chest, and that's where your heart chakra lays. And that's all about your emotions and your feelings and your love and your connection to the whole emotional world. And then you go up to your throat chakra, and that's where you're speaking your truth. And that's where you have your voice for saying what's you and what's true for you. And then up to your third eye, and that's where you open your intuition and your clairvoyant being and your connection to the astral world. And then on the top is your crown chakra, and that's your connection to the highest vibration and the source and the universe at large. So it's this flow of energy from just survival and instinct up through the evolution of your soul and your light up to your connection to the source. So it's a really beautiful system. So when we're talking about chakra breathing, I want you, just like when we breathe from the first chakra, that's going to be down in your groin. And it's like, well, how do I breathe from there? But all you need to do is just kind of focus on that part of your body and just imagine you're drawing with that. And it'll be really super. It's way more difficult to think about than it is to actually do. So we're going to go through each of the bowls, and we're going to address each of the chakras. Chakras also have color, and I'll bring that up while we're doing those. But what I want you to do is, as we're breathing, like with the first chakra, just imagine really bright red energy. And with each inhale you're taking, you're drawing that energy into that chakra and just filling it up with fresh, bright, fresh, brand new red energy. Okay. And we'll go through each of the colors and address that. All right. So, talking too much. All right, here we go. We're going to create some sacred space. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. The brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We joyously gather to create our circle of light, of truth, of joy, and connection. We ask that the angels be with us this evening. They share their truth, their knowledge, and their love of the source. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, absolute unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source, we open our circle. All right. Let's write down the blank space and then we'll get started on the bowls. All right. You're going to draw with your solar plexus, and you're not drawing air, you're drawing bright, golden, healing energy, warm and rejuvenating, and every bit of it like flows into your nose. Take it in through your nose, let it just flow to every part of your body. And then on the exhale, connect your breath to your mind turning off, your whole body turning off. And as that breath is going, just imagine it's like you're an android that somebody flipped the switch and now you're just kind of like slowly coming. And when we get to silence, just imagine like the whole world just freeze framed. Like you're not thinking, you're not feeling, you don't want to breathe. Like you just stop, just freeze everything. And we'll just hold that for 3, 4, 5 seconds. And we'll do 3 of those, all right? All right, here we go. Inhale. Use your solar plexus. Really fill it up. When you think you're full, add a little more bright gold energy. And release. Shutting off. No mind. Deeper. Down into the beautiful silence. Deeper silence. And inhale. Really deep. Fill it up. And release. Sinking down into the stillness. No thoughts. No past, no future. Deeper silence. All right, one more. Inhale. Make this one count. And release. Sinking down. Deeper. No mind. All right. All right. Just stay in that chill for a second. I need a second to get the mic set up and we'll get rolling. We're going to start with the first chakra. Bright red. All right, and I want you to take 3 deep breaths with your chakra breathing, using your first chakra. Draw in bright red energy. Inhale, draw it in. One more. Let that spread throughout your body. Moving up to the second chakra. This chakra is bright orange, like a fresh, juicy, bright orange. All right, let's take 3 really deep breaths using your second chakra between your groin and your navel. Inhale. Deep. Release. Inhale. Bright orange. Just makes you feel so alive. And here we are at the solar plexus, just above your navel. Bright golden yellow. This is the healing juice. All right. 3 really nice breaths. Inhale. Bright yellow. In through your solar plexus. You can feel it just electrifying you. Another deep breath, just draw it in. Big blast. Moving up to the heart chakra, where your emotions live. The emotions you feel, the emotions to share your universe with others. Next, we're moving up to the throat chakra. The place where you can speak your truth. Where you connect with the others on the planet. We're moving up to the third eye to open your vision to the biggest picture, to the multiverse, and the source beyond. Clairvoyant vision, intuition, seeing energy, jawed in, bright purple, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see. And finally, crown chakra, our connection to the source and the higher realms. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to gather our energy in our first chakra, really get it nice and charged up, and then push it up all the way through the other chakras and out through the top of your skull. Okay, so gather some juice. 3 nice deep breaths. Draw it in. You guys know how to do that by now. All right. Have a good batch. And send it with some force, like it's a volcano, like exploding, okay? Here we go, on the count of 3. Gather That was fun. Okay. We're running a little long, but everybody, I'll make sure I get everybody's reading in, okay? Let me go back through and see where we're at. Wow. Okay, bear with me here. I'm scrolling even as we speak. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, Hajati Gudmundsen. Hajati Gudmundsen. I'm sorry if that's really messed up. All right, I'm glad to have you with us, back with us. And yeah, so what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes, get really focused, and concentrate really hard. If you have a specific question, really focus on that and beam that to me, okay? Yeah. Words of wisdom from my good friend Hajati. Words of wisdom from my good friend Hajati. Words of wisdom from my good friend Hajati. Okay, man, this is a good one. Number 7, the angel of patience. Okay. Worry, worry, worry. You're experiencing it from every direction: health, finances, creativity, work, and relationships. Look at your situation and decide what you really want. Your emotional responses are ruling your clear mind. Wow, that's so easy to do too. You're connected to your pain and have lost sight of how good life can be. That's easy to get there too, man. Because that once that vicious circle starts, whew, it just feeds on itself. Material deprivation, emotional insecurity, and physical loneliness allow you to experience the disappointment that occurs when every effort towards stability is denied and everything you want to hold on to is lost or taken away. You come to recognize the illusion of permanence in the physical and material desires. You come to recognize the transitory nature of physical and material desires. But take heart. New opportunities are awaiting, new possibilities. A path more consistent with the present will be revealed now. Strategic review, refocusing, and recalibration. Yeah, I think all of us are going through a weird little death in a way, are all essential steps to forward progress. Focus all your energy on your spiritual growth. Here is peace. Apply slow and steady effort. Keep trying different combinations until the lock opens. In spite of the trials, you will continue to progress towards your goal. Your rewards will be as resplendent as your confirmed belief in what you can achieve. There you go. All right, Andrea, this one's for you, girl. Let's see. Okay, Andrea. 3 deep breaths with me, okay? Just really quiet. You are raging in there, girlfriend. Shut it down. Inhale. All right. All right. All right, Andrea, just imagine that we're standing face to face and looking at each other in the eye. And let's connect. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom for my friend Andrea. Words of wisdom for my friend Andrea. Words of wisdom for my friend Andrea. Number 17, the angel of revelation. You feel betrayed by your trusted friends, disillusioned, your false vision in a spiritual matter is crumbling. You feel as if you've been stabbed in the back. These feelings are creating extreme depression and a deep sense of loss. A new dawn always arises, bringing with it hope for a better day. Let go of your fears. Yeah. Fear, man, it is at the core of everything. They led you to this negative thinking. It's your self-created prophecy that things would not work out. Give yourself the right to give up if you need to. Lose the untrustworthy friends and abandon a broken project. Stop fighting these losing battles. Surrender and face your fears head on, and you will discover something wonderful has happened. You are free. Free. You discover that the monster you fear if it isn't half as bad as you think it is. Broaden your thinking. Your life is not over. Use your imagination. Visualize your best life. Like visualize the life you want, not the life you hate. Use your imagination. Visualize your best life. Every vision is an illusion until you make it real. Your reality is dependent on your point of view. Alter your mind and you immediately alter your reality. What you think, you become. They're not always warm and fuzzy, but they always tell the truth. Okay, let me scroll down here and see if I am. Tammy Joe. This one's for you. Catbird Angel, how are you? All right, Tammy Joe, you know the routine. Focus it up, girl. Focus really hard. Words of wisdom from my friend Tammy Joe. Words of wisdom from my friend Tammy Joe. Words of wisdom from my friend Tammy Joe. Yeah, you're going to dance around on this one. The angel of propagation of light. I just about know this one by heart, despite my best efforts not to memorize them. Victory, victory, victory. Keep the faith. The news you've been waiting for is coming, and you can win all your dreams. Don't give up. Keep trying. You will succeed. Believe in yourself. Know that you have been given the skills and opportunities to realize your hopes and dreams for the future. Relax and concentrate on the task at hand. You will succeed. You will know victory over the will over the physical world, the ability to change the course of your destiny and thoughts. Success comes from gathering an excellent team to work together. You have the ability to persuade, influence, and counsel, and from your struggle to develop your ideas, there will emerge a dominant theme and a leader. Not everyone or everything is trustworthy. Use your intuition. You will feel when something is not right and the red light goes on. Trust that. Shift your emphasis from your problems to your joys. Remember, you're making your universe. You're creating your own reality every single second. What you think about, you're sending into your astral. You're creating structures there. And the more you think about that, the closer they get to actually manifesting. So like, a reading or two back, like visualize the world you want, not the world you don't like, right? Shift your emphasis from your problems to your joys. See your victory. Assume it's done. Your optimism will produce the very success it desires and expects. All right. Catbird, this one's for you. All right. Get nice and centered. Words of wisdom for my friend Catbird Angel. Words of wisdom for my friend Catbird Angel. Number 10, the angel of divine grace. Face it, the situation is bad. Accept your feelings. It's an unfair, unequal situation, and insecure emotions bloom when you feel you are underappreciated and underrecognized for your contribution and hard work. Feelings of insecurity produce resentment and dissatisfaction as you perceive and accept the truth of the inequity, and your prosperity is suffering for it. Any relationship is built on an agreement between those who have and those who don't. Doling out attentions, promises, sexual favors, or finances can be a manipulative means of keeping people bound to you. Learn to gift with no strings, no conditions, according to your ability, and to receive your gifts. Then you will be on solid ground in your relationship. Yeah. When success is measured in terms of what you give Everyone shares in it. If success is measured in terms of what you get, you will always be chained to the need for more. Stop being so defensive. Yes, you are. I got this one for myself yesterday. Yeah. You know, the tarot card for this is the Six of Pentacles, which is um, about getting gifts from people that can afford to just pass on something to you. So maybe look for a nice little chunk of change coming in a little bit here. Okay. Let me just make sure. Listen, I think I've gotten everybody. If I'm missing you, please send me a really quick thing down as I scroll back through here and just make sure everybody's taken care of. Arnie. So man, so sorry I missed you. Here we go, bro. You know how to do it. Three deep breaths with me, Arnie. It's loud tonight, man. All that solar static. All right, focus really good. Oh, words of wisdom from my good friend Arnie. Words of wisdom from my good friend Arnie. Words of wisdom from my good friend Arnie. Number 36, Angel of Inner and Outer Work. Acknowledge when you are lost, when there is one problem after another, nothing runs as it should, and you don't have a clue what to do. Man, that has been me for like the last 3 weeks. You are unclear, you procrastinate. When you become bored, you can easily be persuaded to go in the wrong direction. Yeah, I'd like to keep my little boy like active and occupied. You resort to taking risks to relieve the boredom, financial, emotional. You will gamble everything in search of a thrill. Your most basic qualities of caution, skill, and foresight are in direct opposition. Sometimes a risk is justified, depending on the projected results. But if the risk is the result of an addictive desire for excitement, then troubles can arrive from recklessness or doing things at the wrong moment. Be self-motivated, be objective, take command of inner and outer worlds. Organize things in your life, begin to communicate your inner desires, and the results will be healing, inspirational, and enriching. As intense as that is, the tarot card for this is the Ten of Pentacles, which is like, that's the riches card in the tarot deck. It's like the place where abiding abundance comes. You know, and sometimes you have to just get through the last couple of layers to get to that particular spot, right? Yeah. All right. So let me see if anybody else. Guys, have patience. All right. Well, Craig Esford, what's up, buddy? So, anybody else looking for a reading? Um, yeah. All right. While I'm waiting for that, as always, I hate to even mention this, but like hit the like, please hit the subscribe, please leave a comment down below. And if you have somebody that you think might actually benefit from some live energy practice, please share this thing and let's get it out to some people. Also, if you're looking for a tarot deck, the wizardofod.com link down at the bottom of the page is where you can get, and actually the QR code will take you right to that website. Next week, I'm going to be having Kelly Brickle on, the head cheese at the Sacred Spiral Network. And she's an amazing numerologist, which I was on her show a few weeks ago, and it was just really super fun. And I can't wait to dive really super deep into numbers, and hope that you guys show up for this, because I think it's going to be a really good one. All right. Andrea, you're most welcome. All right, you guys. I guess that's another one bites the dust for this week. As always, it's a thrill, and I enjoy sharing space with you guys so much. And our little energy configuration that it's so real and tangible, and being able to reach out through the field and connect with you guys, man, what a great practice for me. And just on every level, I think this is just a win for everybody. So hope you keep coming back, and that you leave feeling a little better than you did when you showed up. And we're going to close our space for the week, and I look forward to sharing it again with you next week. We gratefully and joyously draw our meeting to a conclusion. Send everybody on their happy way. We thank the angels for their guidance, their truth, even though it can be hard to hear sometimes, and for sharing their love of the source with us. And until next week, with absolute gratitude for all of it, unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, we close our circle. Be in the light.